Welcome back to the lolguy2525 YouTube channel. Today we will be going over the lolguy2525 Fantasy Football League matchups of Week 1. Coming in at the top matchup of the week, maybe not the closest, but a top matchup for sure, is Team Mike Wazowski versus Team Aaron Hernandez Taxi Service. And just looking at the projections, I don't mean to sound insensitive at all, but Aaron Hernandez should be killing Mike Wazowski. If we go quarterback for quarterback, Jalen Hurts is playing the Detroit Lions, which is going to be a bad team. Should be an easy 25 plus, as you can see from the projection. And Josh Allen is playing a very, very tough Rams defense. And he's projected a lot. It's Josh Allen. He'll probably get a lot, but he's playing a tough defense compared to Jalen Hurts. Running back 1 versus running back 1. Christian McCaffrey is playing a weak Cleveland defense. They have Myles Garrett, but I'm not sure if you can contain Christian McCaffrey in the pass game and in the run game. Against Dalvin Cook playing the Green Bay, kind of a similar defense. Maybe not the star presence as Myles Garrett, but still a top defense nonetheless. Running back 2 versus running back 2. Austin Eckler is playing the Las Vegas defense. They have Max Crosby, like Cleveland, but I do believe Austin Eckler is too efficient in the pass game to get below 12 points. While Ezekiel Elliott is playing Tampa Bay, probably the top O-line or D-line defense in the league. I don't believe he gets over 7 points this game, but that is just me. And now we have running back wide receiver. Leonard Fournette against Dallas. I believe Leonard Fournette. Tampa Bay always likes to start off the year with a lot of running, so I do believe that he'll probably get 15, 2 touchdowns, and maybe a few yards. Not sure. Mike Williams playing Las Vegas. They have not very good cornerbacks. I do believe Mike Williams will go off, as he's a deep threat. I don't think any of the cornerbacks will stop him. I see him getting probably 15 plus, maybe 17 in total. Wide receiver 1, Justin Jefferson playing Green Bay. Minnesota versus Green Bay every year, they always get over 30 points each. Justin Jefferson, I'm pretty sure, averages 20 fantasy points against Green Bay. And it's Tyreek Hill against New England. New England is losing J.C. Jackson, their number 1 cornerback. So Tyreek Hill he could exploit this defense. I don't think he will, because Tua Tagovailoa needs to tune up a little bit before he really gets in the groove. Wide receiver 2, Keenan Allen versus Las Vegas. Similar with Mike Williams, they do not have a good cornerback. So I do believe he'll probably get 10-ish, but he won't get as much as Mike Williams. A.J. Brown versus Detroit. Him and Jalen Hurts. That's why Jalen Hurts is projected so much. He will probably get 13, 14 points. I don't see him getting less than that, just for the fact that he's playing Detroit. Detroit kind of sucks. Travis Kelce versus Arizona. I believe he gets probably 20 points here. It's just Arizona. They're okay. But I think that KC is going to start off the year really hot, and they're going to need him to come through this game. Kyle Pitts versus New Orleans. New Orleans has very good defense, especially Marlon Humphrey. Or no, not Marlon Humphrey. It's Marshawn Lattimore. So I don't think he plays very well this game. I think he gets his projection, which is 6, but I'm not sure. Colts defense versus Houston. This was probably the top defense of the week. They're playing Houston, which is just one of the worst teams in the league this year. Ravens defense versus Jets. Another atrocious offense. They should be getting a lot of points. Harrison Butker versus Arizona. I mean, they start off the year hot. It's going to be a high-scoring game. Should be pretty good. Young Hoku versus New Orleans. I don't think that's going to be a high-scoring game. They're both pretty defensive teams, so I think he gets probably 5. Moving on to matchup 2. Henry Ruggs Racers versus Team J Booty. Quarterbacks, Lamar Jackson versus New York Jets. This will be good. It's the Jets. They suck. They lost Zach Wilson. I don't believe they'll be scoring much this game, so Lamar will be probably running a lot, which will get him more fantasy points. I can see him getting 26 plus here. Dak Prescott versus Tampa Bay. Tampa Bay is always tough. He'll be coming from behind a majority of this game because Tampa Bay is so good. So I don't see him playing very well. He will probably get 20 plus though. Jonathan Taylor versus Houston. He will be running a lot on them. I can see him getting 30 this game. It's just Houston sucks. Alvin Kamara versus Atlanta. Kamara probably should get 15, 16 points here. Atlanta defense, their D-line isn't the best. So Kamara should be good here. Cam Akers versus Buffalo. This will be a bad game for Cam Akers. Buffalo has a very good defense, and I don't think they'll be up enough for him to run the whole time. So I see him getting 7, 8 points, unless he gets a clean touchdown, which will get him like 13. DeAndre Swift versus Philadelphia. I don't think they'll be up at all, like at any point in this game. So I don't see him getting more than 10. Sadly, but when he plays other bad teams, he will be getting up more and a lot more points. Running back, wide receiver, Terry McLaurin versus Jacksonville. It's a pretty close game because it's Jacksonville, and he's always involved in that Washington offense. I believe he gets 10 to 11 points, but I'm not sure. Saquon Barkley versus Tennessee. Tennessee defense is very good, especially that D-line, which Saquon Barkley needs to run through. I can see him getting 9 or 10, but I don't see him getting his projected 11. Wide receiver 1, Deebo Samuel versus Chicago. I'm not sure that San Francisco always starts off really rough, so I don't see them doing well this game. I can see Deebo doing well, though. I can see him getting 11, 12 plus, maybe. Cooper Kupp versus Buffalo. To win this game, they will need Cooper Kupp to come in clutch. So if they win this game, I see him getting about 20. But if they don't win this game, it'll probably be 6 or 7. Wide receiver 2, Devontae Adams, Los Angeles Chargers. I think Derek Carr starts off the season with a tear with Devontae Adams, and he'll probably get 20-ish points, maybe. That's what I think. Yeah, that's my projection for Devontae. Wide receiver 2, Jerry Jeudy versus Seattle. I think Russell Wilson starts off the year very, very hot against a poor Seattle team. So Jerry Jeudy should get about 12, but I think Courtland Sutton gets more than him. Tight end, Dawson Knox versus the Rams. Dawson Knox and Stephon Diggs will be the main playmakers of that Buffalo team. So I believe that's the thing there. Darren Waller versus the Chargers. Darren Waller is always pretty good, and I think he starts off the year really hot with Devonta. So he probably gets about 8, 9, which is pretty good for a tight end. Saints defense against Atlanta. I believe that is another one of the top defenses this week. Atlanta sucks. Like, really sucks. So, we'll see. Packers defense versus Minnesota. This is a bad defense this week. I do not recommend you. I recommend you drop this defense immediately and pick another, because the Minnesota Vikings will score a lot on the Packers. Nick Folk versus Miami. Kickers are meh. I mean, they'll probably score a lot on Miami. So, Patriots get stalled out a lot on drives, so he will get a lot of kicks. I think he's okay. Justin Tucker versus the Jets. Same thing. I mean, he's probably going to score a lot of extra points on the Jets, but not many field goals, so I think it's pretty similar. This is probably the closest matchup of the league. Week 1 at least. 100 to 100. Just coming in at quarterback, Justin Herbert versus the Las Vegas Raiders. I think this will be a high-scoring game. 24 is an understatement. I think it'll be 30 plus. Kyler Murray versus KC. I don't see them scoring too much this game, as DeAndre Hopkins is out, and he doesn't really have another target really. So I don't see that being a big scoring game. I think he'll probably get 20 just because he can run, but I don't know. Running back 1, Joe Mixon versus Pittsburgh. Pittsburgh has TJ Watt and a very good, very, very stacked defensive line. Joe Mixon probably gets about 8 if he's lucky. Derrick Henry versus the New York Giants. Derrick Henry will run on the Giants. They do not have one good defensive player. He will probably get about 20-ish if that. J.K. Dobbins versus the New York Jets. I think this will be good. They will get up a lot and probably just keep running the ball. So probably like 2 touchdowns, maybe 50 yards. James Conner against KC. I don't see Arizona ever being up in this game, so there's no need to run. But if they get close to the goal line, they always run it with Conner for touchdowns. So I see him getting a touchdown or 2. Flex, David Montgomery against San Francisco. I don't think Chicago will be up much this game. I think maybe he gets a lot of yards at the start and a touchdown or 2 at the start. But otherwise, I don't see a way that he gets many points this game. Breece Hall against Baltimore. I believe this is, I'm not even sure if he's a top running back. I don't even know if he's the running back 1 on the New York Jets, so I'm not sure how he'll do. Especially Baltimore is a very stingy defense, so I don't think he'll do that well. DK Metcalf against Denver. He has Geno Smith throwing to him. I don't think he does well. I think he maybe even gets like 4 points. CeeDee Lamb against Tampa Bay. They're going to have to throw a lot, but the number 1 cornerback is going to be on CeeDee Lamb. I don't see him doing much. Maybe 8 points, maybe. DJ Moore against Cleveland. I think Baker Mayfield to DJ Moore is going to be a very, very underrated target this year. I think DJ Moore gets a touchdown and maybe like 70 yards, so 16 points. T. Higgins against Pittsburgh. They're going to have to throw a lot because they won't have the run game working. Jamar Chase is probably going to be locked up by whoever their cornerback is, so T. Higgins should be open. Tight end, Mark Andrews against the New York Jets. He'll probably be the best tight end if Travis Kelce doesn't step up the first week, especially against that trash Jets defense. Dallas Goedert, Detroit. Probably a dark horse this week of tight ends. I think he'll do very well against that very bad Detroit defense. 49ers defense against Chicago. I believe the 49ers will shut them down to about 21 points, if that. I think it'll be 2 touchdowns, not 3. So there will be a good defense this week. Rams defense against Buffalo. This is one of the worst defenses this week to pick. Buffalo will score a lot, no matter how good the Rams defense is. Matt Gay against Buffalo. It'll be a high-scoring game, so he should get a lot of extra points and maybe a field goal or 2 in there. Evan McPherson against Pittsburgh. I believe they get stalled out a lot at the 20 to 30 yard line, red zone. So I believe Evan McPherson will be kicking a lot that game. Last matchup, probably the lowest scoring projection. Daddy McFadden versus Team Hennessy. Coming in at quarterback, Aaron Rodgers versus Minnesota. He always does well against Minnesota, although last year his week 1 was atrocious. I think he'll pick it up this week 1 though. Patrick Mahomes against Arizona. I believe he balls out and gets about 30 points. Najee Harris against Cincinnati. Cincinnati doesn't have a very good D-line, so I think he does pretty well and gets probably his projection, if I had to guess, maybe a little more. Javonte Williams against Seattle. He'll be running on Seattle. They have a bad defense, and they will be up a lot of the game. Nick Chubb against Carolina. Carolina has a pretty good D-line and a pretty good defense altogether. I don't think they're going to be up much because Deshaun Watson is out, so I don't see him doing too well this week. Antonio Gibson against Jacksonville. I'm not sure if he's even the starter because he fumbles so much during the preseason, but we'll see. He might do good, he might do bad. I don't think he'll do too bad though. I think he'll get about 8 or 9. Cortland Sutton against Seattle. I think he'll be the number 1 target for Russell Wilson this game. And I think Russell Wilson has a big game, so I think he probably gets about 15 or if that. Ramondre Stevenson against Miami. That's a bad running back. He's not one of the best. Don't think he does too good. It is Miami though, so I think he does at least get 8 minimum, probably around 10 or 11. Jamar Chase against Pittsburgh. I believe he gets locked up this game. Still probably will get about 8 points ish. Maybe he gets a touchdown in there and gets about 13. Stephon Diggs against the Rams. He'll get locked up by Jalen Ramsey easily. So I believe he gets 7-ish points maybe. Mike Evans against Dallas. He's always he's going to get you 13 every week or so. He's a very good wide receiver and cannot be stopped. Michael Pittman Jr. against Houston. Indianapolis will probably be up very quickly in this game, so I don't see them throwing too much. So he'll probably get a touchdown at the start, maybe a couple yards. I don't think he'll do too much though. George Kittle against Chicago, yeah. He's always a streaky player, so he could have a big game, he could have a small game. I think he has a small game, just getting tuned up with that offense again. Dalton Schultz against Tampa Bay. Dalton Schultz will be the secret weapon for the Dallas Cowboys against Tampa. In the red zone, he gets a lot of targets. I see him getting a touchdown or 2. Buccaneers defense against Dallas. Dallas will score no matter how good the Buccaneers defense is. Probably twice or 3 times, so it'll be an okay defense. Bengals defense against Pittsburgh. The Bengals don't really have that good of a defense anyway, so Pittsburgh will score quite a bit, no matter their QB. Rodrigo Blankenship versus Houston. He'll get a lot of extra points and probably a few field goals at the end, just because they don't want to score touchdowns and run up the score. Greg Joseph against Green Bay. A very good kicker this week. Minnesota gets stalled out a lot in the red zone. He should get a few field goals and a few extra points because they score a lot. Thank you for watching the Week 1 matchup of the lolguy2525 league, and I hope to see you next week, Week 2.